And hello, folks. This is your old pal, Uncle Al. We're going to stop and talk one of my hobbies. Okay? It's firearms design. I like to talk about pistol carbines and machine pistols and basic firearm structure. Okay? I'm different than most firearm channels. I don't show that. Okay? Why? Because most people think it's a gun, it goes bang. I don't do that. It's not a firearm. I told people if I'm developing stuff, it's going to cost $250. But that's where I got the ATF by the nads and squeeze them tight. It's a stock, has no trigger, it has no moving parts, doesn't even have holes in it. Okay? It's a fiberglass form. It's polymer injected molding, no machining. Okay? The only human touch is the guys I hired to put it into cardboard boxes. Now, you're a foreign government and you buy from Uncle Al. For $250, you get the stock assembly. It's not a lower receiver, so the ATF says it's a lower receiver. Okay? I'm going to sue them for $1.7 billion. It's not a receiver. It's a stock. All right? It has a pistol grip. It has a polymer stock. Has no metal components or holes. It's a stock. $1.7 billion. I'm going to sue the ATF once I get into production. Now, the bad thing is, if you want to make it into a working AR or armor light automatic rifle based on the M16A2, it's going to cost you money. All right? Way I designed it, it's a stock. There's no trigger, no parts, no even holes. Like I could assemble it together. No, you need a template. That's $500. Now, where to position the holes? You know, any idiot with a vise, a garage, and a battery-powered drill, 18-volt drill, could do it at home. It's not rocket science, folks. Okay, so that template, $500. The little bits parts like the trigger and moving parts and springs, that's another $600. Okay, so you add up the list. For the basic stock, $250. For the template, $500. For the trigger and bits parts, you guessed it, $350. So Uncle Al's making a pretty good deal. And we haven't even went up to the upper receiver yet. Okay, you need the recoil system, which is a buffer tube and the spring, and it's fairly easy. You just slip everything in. No machining, nothing to do. That's it. But you need the little pieces and bits, okay, to hold the upper assembly and the lower assembly. Another $125. Unless you want to do it with duct tape. I'm calling evil that way. Okay? Upper assembly is basically the metal parts, which I do not sell. I'll probably buy it from China because they can manufacture cheaper and in different calibers. Okay? It won't have a carrying handle. It won't have a front sight. It will have a metal rail. Okay? Bolts in there, 4axis, the whole bit. $850. So what you think you're getting for $250 now costs you $3,000 a unit. And Uncle Alan's just chuckling. I'll just make the stock. And I'll say goodbye to the ATF because they have to pay Uncle Al $1.7 billion and my legal fees. Because I figure out it'll take 3.5 years and I'll sue the living hell out of them. Because it's nothing. There's no trigger, no metal parts, no trigger. It's just a fiberglass form, polymer injected molding. No machining. So you have to prove it. Is it a stock or is it a firearm? It has no moving parts, no holes. So I make a lot of money laughing at you. But if you try, you need the template, the upper receiver, the buffer tube, all the little small parts. And I'll be laughing all the way to the bank. So you're a third world country. You make a deal with old Uncle Al and I'll supply you with everything. I learned that lesson from the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, except he did it wrong. Uncle Alan did it smart because I just make the stock. And the only people at work with me, probably 5 guys, load it in the box and ship it off. It's a stock. All right. If you want, I could figure out a configuration you could use it for your Game Boy or Airsoft, and I'll be laughing all the way to the bank because it is not a firearm. Remember, $1.7 billion. You better have some damn good lawyers, and they have to prove it. Like, it's a part of a Nerf gun. It's part of Game Boy. It's a toy. It's a plastic stock. There's no moving parts in it. There's no trigger. There's no holes in it. Okay? And they'll be freaking out. They have to prove it. It's a firearm. It's not until you assemble it with the other factors. This is why Uncle Alan's going to make a lot of money. Of course, Indonesia will have a discount because before I get the stock, they'll be having the other assembled pieces together. So is Thailand. So all they have to do, if somebody wants an optic or an AI sight or iron sight, it's there. And it doesn't take rocket science to do. They could choose any caliber they want. Because that's how evil Uncle Alan is. Uncle Alan always thinks ahead, 20 steps ahead of everybody else. Okay, it's fast, it's efficient. You know, Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. Go see the movie. And I'll catch you later. Remember, not a firearm. Okay, folks. Be a nice person. Help out your friends and neighbors. Do not get involved in the internet. Contact people. Talk to them. Have dinner. Okay? Like tonight, I had a wonderful... damn meters. Have a wonderful meatloaf dinner that my neighbor brought by. And I had corn and mixed rice already. So that was my plated dinner. And I gave him some Mrs. Shirley, turnip miso soup. It's nice and warm on a cold day. So always feed your friends and neighbors. And always outthink of everybody else. Don't follow the book. Get out of the box. And I'll catch you later. Long live the Republic. If you can, buy a can of food for your local food bank and help everybody out. Be a nice person. And I'll be seeing you. Bye now.